In fact, that gets us directly then to your greater glory theodicy.
Yeah.
Right, because that's what gives God the greatest glory.
Yeah,
those elements.
I keep reading the Bible, and I like seeing myself in there. So David comes in, he slays Goliath. I really like that story, and then all of a sudden, God comes in and has to eschew him of all the evil that he's done. He breaks all 10 commandments. I like the Apostle Peter. He seems really gung ho. And then he comes to lop off an ear. That's really good. I see myself in that a lot. And then lo and behold, God comes in and interjects himself. And it seems to be that God keeps putting himself in the forefront of Scripture. And I, as a person that looks at pictures for only me, I don't appreciate that. And so is there something towards your theodicy that might speak in favor of God at the center of the story?
Yes, absolutely. Any theodicy that does not place God, and I argue any theodicy that does not place God's glory supremely at the center, there's something wrong with that theodicy. And I think that's one of the major, if you want to back up and look at all of the ways that Christians have addressed the problem of evil, I think you can hone them down to those that are far more man-centered and those that are more God-centered. And unfortunately, I believe that the free will theism tends to be more man-centered and has a greater emphasis upon man and his choices and his autonomy, supposed autonomy, and that God is subservient to the concerns of the human, person, and that God's whole design for creation was for the happiness of man. And really, that's at the heart of free will theism, is that God's greatest. This is why they emphasize God's love as his greatest attribute. His love not toward members of the Trinity, but his love for humans. And so the assumption is if God really loves human beings, then he wants their happiness. And so the happiness of the human is at the center of God's concerns. And so, but that in itself is a problem, because if God was so concerned about the happiness of humans, then why did he create conditions on the earth in which sin would come about? So again, it's just, you get into so many problems when you get to a man-centered kind of theology. And so a theology that is God-centered means that everything is going to center on God's glory and what brings him the most glory.